Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Daha, this time from Yerevan. We have with us today Dr. Benyamin Poghosyan, who is the founding chairman of the Center for Political and Economic Strategic Studies. Even though we're both in the same city right now, there's a lot going on these days, so we're having this brief conversation over Zoom. But Dr. Poghosyan, thank you very much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
So as we all know, this has been a very important week for Azerbaijan-Armenia relations. Just a few days ago, on the 14th of December, there was the trilateral meeting of Prime Minister Pashinyan, President Aliyev, and President Charles Michel of the European Council, which took place in Brussels on the sidelines of the Eastern Partnership Summit. Needless to say, this was a much anticipated event, lots of discussion about what might come out of it. And now there have been statements by all parties on the outcome, including this key issue of opening communication lines. But before we get into specifics, I wanted to ask you more generally, what's your take on the meeting? Did it achieve what you expected? And what were the discussions in various circles on the ground here in Armenia, both in the run-up to it as well as afterwards?
First of all, I believe the meeting is useful and meeting was useful. And I strongly believe that direct contacts between Armenia and Azerbaijan are useful, despite all disagreements which still are there regarding the future of Nagorno-Karabakh and other issues. Definitely, it's better to speak, and it's better to speak directly. Regarding what Armenian expert community was hoping from this meeting, or what were the expectations, I may say there were two general narratives or two general lines. One was that, okay, this is an effort by the European Union to somehow reinsert itself into the process of relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan, somehow to challenge the solely Russian monopoly of these issues, which was established after these three meetings and three trilateral statements of November 10, 2020, then January 11, 2021, and then we had a Sochi meeting just a few weeks ago in November 26, 2021. So the narrative goes that there is some competition between European Union and Russian Federation. The European Union and the West in general was not very happy to see that Armenia-Azerbaijan relations are now being mediated solely by Russia. And this meeting was the first concrete step by the Euro-Atlantic community, which EU is part of, somehow to break this Russian monopoly and insert itself into these dynamics. But the second narrative goes a little bit in different way. Yes, according to second narrative, definitely Euro-Atlantic community or the collective West definitely was not happy to see itself somehow sidelined during and immediately after the 2020 Karabakh War. And of course, Euro-Atlantic community is not happy to see the South Caucasus essentially being regulated mainly through Russia-Turkey cooperation competition. But also, according to the second narrative, there are also some overlapping interests of this European Union and Russia, because both wants to see stability in the South Caucasus. No one wants to have another resumption of large-scale hostilities. And both Russia and European Union understands that one of the tangible ways to decrease the possibility of new conflict or of new war is to foster the economic connectivity and economic relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan. So in that case, according to the second narrative, this is not only about competition, but it's also about the coinciding interests. And definitely, this was not a coincidence that, for example, before the meeting, President Putin spoke with Charles Michel, and they discussed the mutual understanding. President Putin informed about the result of the meeting in Sochi, held in November 26. And then Charles Michel also expressed his hope that the Brussels meeting will be more successful. From my personal view, I believe that the second narrative, that okay, there is some concerns from the European Union or Euro-Atlantic community about growing role of Russia and Turkey in the region, and they are not happy to be somehow sidelined, but also they have some overlapping interests with Russia to secure the stability in the region. I personally, as an expert, share this view, that the meeting in Brussels was not only like in a competition way, something like a negative way that, okay, now European Union is telling, okay, Russia, I will create some alternative format and will try to push forward some alternative agenda between Armenia and Azerbaijan. My understanding is that at the strategic level, at least on short and mid-term perspective, Russia and European Union have similar views that they both need stability and they have understanding that one of the tangible ways to reach the stability is the launching of some economic projects. It may start from connectivity projects like opening railways and maybe highways, but also can add some other projects into this vision, maybe trying to have small projects on local levels which may serve both local communities. So in general, my understanding is that yes, European Union is not happy that it was somehow sidelined during 2020 Karabakh War and immediately after the war. But also European Union and Russia have mostly similar views what they want in the South Caucasus, at least in short and the midterm perspective.
Thank you. Well, obviously, a very key point when it comes to economic connectivity is this issue of opening communications. And we're hearing that there has been some sort of agreement on the restoration of railway lines, specifically with appropriate arrangements for border and customs control based on the principle of reciprocity. Could you talk a bit about this issue of reciprocal status for border and customs controls? How this is envisioned to work and what this is interpreted to mean by the Armenian side?
Okay, as far as I understand, the key ticking point or sticking point still is this issue of this border and customs control and the understanding what this reciprocity means. Because from Armenian perspective, reciprocity, when we speak about opening the railway connection from Yerevan to Yerevan, then to Nakhichevan, then again to Armenia to Merli, and then from Merli to Azerbaijan reaching Baku, the reciprocity means that Armenia should implement border and customs control for Azerbaijani freight and for Azerbaijani persons when they will cross Armenia-Azerbaijan border entering from Azerbaijan to Syunik to reach Nakhichevan. And simultaneously, Azerbaijan will implement border and customs control for Armenian freight and persons who will enter Nakhichevan Autonomous Republic from Armenia to reach Islamic Republic of Iran. This is how we perceive reciprocity. But my understanding is, and also the President Aliyev spoke about that during his press conference with NATO Secretary General, from Azerbaijani perspective, reciprocity means or should cover not only the border crossings when Azerbaijanis enters Armenia to reach Nakhichevan or Armenians entering Nakhichevan to reach Iran, but also Azerbaijan believes that reciprocity should cover also this highway which currently connect Armenia with Nagorno-Karabakh. And according to Azerbaijani logic, because there are no customs and border control, no Azerbaijani customs and border control on the highway which connects Armenia with Nagorno-Karabakh, there should be no Armenian customs and border control on the railway or potentially also on highway which may connect Azerbaijan with Nakhichevan Autonomous Republic via Armenian territory. So here is a sticking point, and my understanding is that we all should take into account that the actual opening of railway may happen only somewhere in late 2023, because the size needs at least 2 years to construct this missing railway alliance. Azerbaijan already started the connection of railway, this new railway or restoration of former Soviet Union railway to reach to Armenia-Azerbaijan border. But according to Azerbaijani official statements, they will need minimum 1.5 or 2 years to bring the railway to our former Soviet Armenia, Soviet Azerbaijan border, which means it will take place somewhere in summer or even maybe in autumn 2023. And definitely Armenia also needs time to reconstruct the railways through Syunik province along the Arax River, which will allow the Azerbaijani railway to enter Armenia and then to enter Nakhichevan. So in any case, the actual opening of this railway connection may take place no sooner than somewhere in autumn 2023. And my understanding is that during these 2 years, this debate will continue. What this reciprocity means. Azerbaijan will continue to confirm or argue that, okay, because no border and customs control on the road connecting Armenia with Nagorno-Karabakh, their way, no borders and customs should be on the railway which will connect Azerbaijan with Nakhichevan Autonomous Republic. And Armenia will say, no, guys, this restoration of communications between Armenia and Azerbaijan has nothing to do with the corridor which connects Armenia with Nagorno-Karabakh. So reciprocity means only one clear thing. Armenia should implement border and customs control for Azerbaijanis entering Syunik from Azerbaijan to reach Nakhichevan Autonomous Republic, and Azerbaijan should implement border and customs control for Armenians when they will enter Nakhichevan Autonomous Republic, then to reach Islamic Republic of Iran. But again, because we have minimum 24 months until the actual opening of railway may happen, let's see how the situation will evolve. But my understanding is that these different interpretations of the agreement reached first in Sochi on November 26 and then reconfirmed in Brussels on December 14. This interpretation of what this agreement is about, they will continue until maybe the very last day when officially this railway connection should be opened. And either there will be border and customs control or there will be no border and customs control. So I'm anticipating some debate and different interpretations and even maybe accusations of misinterpretation of agreements reached during these 24 months ahead.
One of the other issues that was discussed in the context of the summit was the launch of an EU economic advisory platform that could help promote confidence building and economic cooperation in the region. How do you specifically see the role of the EU in promoting this kind of cooperation? And what is unique about the EU's position in being able to facilitate such cooperation?
Okay, we all know that as for now, EU is not a pure hard power geopolitical force. And the main pluses or advantages of European Union is first, it is normative base, like being a normative power, trying to bring the law, standards, and etc. closer to European standards in its neighborhood. And second, it's European soft power, mainly its economic power. So in this case, I believe EU has a quite significant resources, quite significant for the region, but very few for the European Union, huge resources. So from European Union, I believe this could be the drop, if not in the ocean, at least drop in the sea. But for South Caucasus, the potential financial resources and also the technical assistance which European Union can provide could be very crucial, because also European Union has expertise in dealing with such situations in post-war situation in different regions of the world, starting from Balkans and ending from several countries in Africa. So European Union both have money and also European Union have capacity to support side in this post-war situation, to think about opening up of communications or launching some joint projects. So in this case, I believe this potential advisory group could be very useful. First, to act as an intermediator. Second, to provide technical assistance. And third, to provide also financial assistance. We all know about the European Union decision to launch this economic and investment plan for Eastern Partnership countries. And it's assumed that Armenia will receive 2.6 billion euros of loans, guarantees of loans, and also the grants. Of course, grants are a much lesser part of this 2.6 billion amount of money, but in any case. So my understanding is that EU may play a key role here, both supporting a technical assistance and also supporting the financial assistance.
One last question, which is separate but not totally unrelated to what we've been talking about. We've heard this week that special envoys will be appointed by Armenia and Turkey to work on normalization of relations, and it was just announced that Serdar Kılıç, the former ambassador of Turkey to the United States, will be the Turkish envoy for this process. Again, what are the perspectives on this on the ground in Armenia, and how do you see the process of these envoys meeting with each other contributing to the normalization of relations between Armenia and Turkey?
Okay, here again, there are a mix of feelings in Armenia. Definitely all agree, I mean all at least at expert level, that Armenia needs to talk with Turkey, and this needs to talk with Turkey directly. But after this general common understanding, again, views are being divergent. Some experts argue that we should have clear understanding that Turkey is Armenia's adversary, and yes, we need to speak with our adversary. Yes, Armenia and Turkey can have diplomatic relations. Armenia may have embassy in Ankara. Turkey may have embassy in Yerevan. We may use each other's territories as a transit to reach to Azerbaijan or Armenia to reach the Mediterranean or maybe Black Sea port of Turkey. But this does not mean that Armenia and Turkey are not adversaries, because in any case, there is a huge disagreement between Armenia and Turkey, especially regarding the future of Nagorno-Karabakh. We all know the Turkish position is very clear, and it's 100% in line with Azerbaijani position that conflict has been solved. There is no conflict, no Nagorno-Karabakh, no status. And there are concerns in Armenia that we should talk with Turkey, but we should not accept the Turkish views, or we should not reward Turkey by accepting its views, especially on Karabakh, only to have the opportunity to talk. Yes, we need to talk with Turkey, but also we should clearly articulate our positions on Nagorno-Karabakh, like making clear that, okay, we are not going to accept Turkish views or Turkish and Azerbaijani views on Nagorno-Karabakh, only to be able to start to talk with Turkey. But in any case, there is a perception that, yes, we need direct talk with Turkey, but to talk about what? So here, there are some divergent views, and many experts argue that, yes, Armenia should talk with Turkey, but Armenia should not accept Turkish views on Nagorno-Karabakh simply to be able to talk.
Dr. Benyamin Poghosyan, thank you so much for joining us today for a brief conversation. I hope we'll be able to have longer ones in the future, but we're grateful for you to join us and share your views with the audience of Daha.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, and thanks for having me.